the audio interface because I was playing games and then you texted saying you're coming over. I'm like, I might have to go try and take a shit.
Am I supposed to record like this the whole time like you did? Wait, how did you have it?
I was like this. Dude, I'm telling you, we need
I feel like you were like this somehow. You were like...
Yeah, I probably had these like this. So I had it like this. And then I would just like bend my nose on it. Oh, wow, I'm loud. Holy balls. That was loud. But I'm telling you, if we ever get like, you know, even if we get 10 people in here, to get like a nicer table, a little bit taller, probably like this, and then we can get the arm ones so we can just move them so I don't have to eat it.
I think I'm on.
Yeah, you're on.
I'm a lot more quiet than your mic is, it seems like.
That's because for some reason I'm on 10.
Oh, good.
So let's dial that back.
Goody.
You're on 7. So now we're both around 7. So that should be wowzers.
Yeah, I'll hit subscribe once we, unless I accidentally did it already. I hope I didn't do it. No, I just got to hit follow, right?
Yeah. I mean, if when we get to there and you can subscribe, that's how we make money.
First ever Just Browsin stream 6 days ago.
9 views, nice. They weren't all us.
Hey, cool.
All right, these are picking up everything today.
Oh, here we go. I'm like, how do I get this fucking mic stand back? Good God. I probably am. This is probably a good idea, though. Just pick it up and hold it like this, right?
Yeah. Because then you can, like, do stuff, and then if you need to, you can just try and gently set it down. But we're picking, like, everything up. I'm going to try and turn these down a little bit.
We're picking everything up.
I mean, if... Oh, my goodness gracious. Do not go this close to your microphone. I dare you to stick your tongue in there.
Do not go this fucking close. Right.
We're just going to do a test real quick.
There we go.
Here we go. Bloody blokes, penis lovers on 3.
Jesus.
Hopefully we're not streaming and you can hear that. Yeah, it works. Whatever.
All right. So this bracket, we have 23 movies, correct?
Correct. All right, so we're streaming, so you should be able to see us on the stream. What's up, everybody? Just browsing here today.
There it is.
Bringing you yet again another great episode of Just Brackets. We're not recording yet. So we can do like a Twitch intro, and then we can do like a recording intro when we start the like podcast itself.
Okay. Should I hit follow?
Yeah. If you hit, holy cow, these are really loud.
Holy cow! Oh wow!
Oh wow! Oh my gosh! So yeah, if you hit follow, and then it should pop up right here, like in the top.
Oh yeah!
Boom! Look at that. What is that name?
It's Darrow of Lycos.
Darrow of Lycos, 4585 or 84.
He's from the Red Rising.
Thanks for that follow, Darrow. I hope that you come by our streams often.
Yeah. Hopefully that person
you're
does
here
as well.
We're up to 3 followers. We're 47
now.
away.
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, so now you can see the chat. So if you chat in there, like, yeah. And then, so like, since I'm the mod over here, I can be like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, sirs. Oh, I have to log in with it.
I feel like I could use a little volume on mine.
You think so? Or do you think I should turn mine down?
I don't know. I turn mine up just a tad. So yeah, that sounds.
Go ahead and talk now. Oh,
How about
I'm
this?
Still really loud. How about this? Oh, this is much better for me.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right,
How does mine sound?
I think we're both good.
Okay.
Yeah. It sounds good to me.
Liddy.
All right, well, I'll sign into that later. But yeah, so today, for those that are in the Twitch, a.k.a. Zach and I, we have made a Pixar bracket, as we had discussed on our last stream, that we are now going to go through, and that's what this stream will be about, is our Pixar movie bracket. For those of you that want to follow along and join in on the bracket, you could print it off and fill it in yourself. If you want to just go to our Podbean page, which I'm about to pull up here in a second.
Oh, that's what I should do when I'm going to our Podbean page. Because I think I've actually technically edited the Google Doc where you created the bracket. Because I think I logged in as us and then went to the link.
Well,
is it supposed to be taking you to the
So it
Google
takes
Doc
you
link?
to our Google Doc link.
Oh, okay. So it can be edited, I guess, by anyone, right?
No.
If
you signed in with a Just Browsin account,
yeah,
that's why you can edit it, is because I made it with our Just
All I
Browsin
did,
account.
I was like resizing it a little bit. I tried to just get out of there.
Oh,
and then
that
get
doesn't
back
change
in.
anything.
Okay.
Because anyone can resize it.
Okay. Let me go back and just log out and then go see what it looks like when you pull it up, because I've never like gone to the Just Browsin, like searched it within Podbean without being already logged in. So I feel
I like doing it because this is what I changed our website. So I'm going to show everybody in the stream. So this is our website here that we host our podcast on. It's called Podbean. So it's free to sign up for. You can follow the stream, comment. You don't even have to sign up for it. You can just go in and you'll see all of our episodes. You can see like the links, these iTunes links, Amazon Music, Spotify, Facebook. They link you directly to our pages. As you can see, there's a pages up here with contact info. Yeah, it's not really important, but I did make a brackets page, which is going to be here with a link that you can copy and paste, as well as an image. I can't ever click on this image to get it bigger, but I'm just going to put all of our older brackets as we do them here. Or you can scroll down on the links and click on the bracket image itself, which will bring you into a Google Doc. And then you can resize it, print it off, fill it out yourself, and follow along and let us know who you think wins in the Pixar movie bracket. It's pretty simple to get to. You can't click in to fill this out. It's just a screenshot, so you might have to print it or just text box it up and, type who wins where. And you'll be able to follow along, and we'll be doing this for the MCU bracket we have, which will probably be next week, I'd assume, or I guess probably in the next couple episodes.
Do you think we'll be able to crank out the whole Pixar bracket today in one episode?
If not, we can always just do half and half. I mean, we might as well do it all.
I feel like, how am I going to fill it out while we're going through here? I don't have.
Well, so let me
should have printed off a couple copies.
Well, let me see if I'm connected to my printer on this computer. Actually, you know what? I'll just do it over here.
You mean somewhere in this NASA style setup you have that something's connected to a printer at some point? I would hope so.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well,
I kind of want to fill mine out because I'm not going to remember what I select for each one.
All right. Well, now you get to entertain the stream while
I will entertain the stream. Luckily, there's no one in it, so.
Hey, there's
I mean, I guess not luckily.
one viewer. We have Daryl Clockaluchuchu 4584 in there.
Hey.
Strange.
Why, hello, Darrow Lycos _4584, which happens to be my high school football number and then my college football number. That's a weird coincidence. Just a big fan of those two numbers, I guess.
Yeah, why did you pick those numbers? Let's get in the background of that before.
Oh, he's a big fan of those two numbers, apparently.
Oh, very nice, very nice. And
we're getting a lot of engagement out of our first viewer. I like it.
I personally want to know, where does this guy live?
His social security
where
number,
are
his
you
bank
from?
account login information.
Because Zach and I are from Colorado ourselves, so it'd be cool, if there was, just to learn some more about you since you're in our stream.
Oh, looks like we got a response.
Is that my brother?
That should not have been that funny. Sorry.
This guy's about to get timed out.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm excited for. This is going to be a little bit more of a productive episode than last time, I think. Did you text your friends who you play games with? See if them want to join.
No, I'll ask.
Are they on? Are they watching any? Is that pretty much? Do they watch a lot of Twitch stuff each night, or?
If they're home, they'll watch stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Do any of them stream?
They used to.
Yeah. Just playing Warzone or something?
We used to stream us playing GBs. I'm texting you because I'm not going to say this on stream.
Okay.
Because people don't need to know this. But for some reason, everything I'm thinking isn't working.
What do you mean it? Oh. Am I supposed to read this?
Yeah. Just don't read it out loud or say it out loud. You can text it back to me. Apparently, I've never signed into it on my computer, and I'm trying to print us a bracket.
I have it. Stand by, sir.
Standing by. But no, like if we were to get like 30 people in here or something, they could all be sitting there talking, and then we'll sit here and talk about them. And be like, this dude said from your mom's house. I'd be like, what an ass.
I have it in here somewhere.
All right, so Zach's social security number is, everyone ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
What the fuck?
5, 6.
Oh, maybe I just have it.
7, 8. I wonder if anyone ever got the social of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I don't know. Probably someone.
I would feel really bad for that person because I feel like a lot of fake people out there use that as like a, hey, here's my social.
Right. I have this somewhere. Hang on.
I thought I had it written down, but I have every other password written down. By the way, I set up a PayPal account for us.
Oh, lit.
So if people want to donate to us, just you can donate to justsomebrowsin@gmail.com as the PayPal. Don't mind our coughing either. We're both vaxxed.
Sorry, I have this somewhere.
Or are we? Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Oh, here we go. I got it.
No, we got it.
It's right
Okay,
here.
there we go.
Yeah, I'm actually fully vaxxed now.
Well, aren't you special?
Got it on Thursday night. Felt like shit all day Friday, but I'm good now.
But I guess like we had discussed, it probably saved you from being hungover on Saturday.
It probably did, which is a good thing.
All right. Let's see how much shit this knocks over.
Where's this going to print at? Over here?
Yeah, but what the fuck is all this shit?
There's a lot on your printer. Would you like me to move some of that stuff?
So it comes out the bottom, so if you just want to move
okay.
like the top loader box right in front of it and then your keys. I don't know why I can't turn this sideways. Am I just like blind or something? More setting. Like why can't I choose the layout to print this from? Right?
Pull anything out here?
Nah, you can. I mean, it'll just fall. No, it's all right. Just don't break my printer, bro. It cost me like $4,000.
If it costs you $4,000, that's a little concerning.
Hey, dude, some people have good taste in printers that they rarely use. All right, page setup. Maybe that's where it is. Aha! There we go. Let's see if I... Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah. How about now? Oh, yeah, you can see everything. We need 2 of them copies in case you're... Print.
Do you
Dee-dee.
have a couple of pens around here or something?
I've got one for myself. You should come more prepared, Zach.
I would say I have one in my laptop bag, but I don't think I do.
All right, here, you can use this one.
Does it actually work?
Yeah. That's what I write down all of the names of people that have wronged me in my life.
Oh, that's pretty creepy.
And it's just you. And now I'll be back. I'll be back. Imagine I don't come back in my own house. Just like go to bed. Look at my belly stream.
I'll turn this into the Just Browsin' OnlyFans while you're gone.
Just show some like boobs. Actually, don't show boobs because we'll get banned before we become big.
Hey, do you mind giving me some more water while you're up?
I do mind.
Fucking asshole.
Could have asked me before I walked in here.
Thanks,
Do you
man.
mind handing me my water bottle too?
I can't reach it. It's too far.
Luna, I gotta do everything.
Should we text Brandon, see if his bitch ass will fucking jump in this thing?
Yeah. Texas bitch ass.
Can't wait to talk some Pixar movies. One viewer. And it's me. Gracias, señor.
Spill it and die.
I just spelled all over all of our equipment.
At least this is like the cheap stuff.
Except for my laptop.
Yeah, it's not mine. So. Although somehow I got shit on my bracket already.
Here, I'll angle this out of the way a little bit.
You know what? I'm gonna bump our viewer count up for us real quick. Don't mind if I do. Let me turn my volume
I
down.
texted Brandon to see if he wants to follow us. Come in and watch the live stream.
Yeah. Actually, we should probably make sure we can hear ourselves.
Is it working?
Yeah, we can hear ourselves.
Is it working? Is it working?
Can you guys hear me now?
Hey,
All right.
Who do you recommend I follow on Twitch?
The Just Browsin podcast.
Done.
Nice.
Who else?
It depends what you want to watch.
What kind of should I just go to browse?
Browse.
Like
Just do
the Just Browsin? Just Browsin podcast.
Just doing some browsing.
You know, just doing a little bit of browsing. No? So just chatting, is that like a whole? Is that kind of like what we do?
Well, so like, yeah, we could just be under just chatting, but I figured because of how many people are probably watching it, like these people, like she's got 6.4K. We wouldn't even show up till like
What is even
page
going
3,000.
on in, like hers? What is this?
She's an anime character.
Oh my god.
So it's like CGI stuff that they like run as an anime.
Interesting. Interesting what people choose to watch.
But I mean,
To
like,
each their own. It's a free
there's
country.
like now like a hot tubs and pools stream, so girls are literally just in like the skimpiest bikinis, just so dudes will go in there and
Nice.
Be inappropriate.
Dude, get it how you can get it. Although you gotta ask the question, like for those guys, like why not just watch porn? You know,
Stalkers, dude, weird creeps. I don't know.
like why watch a partially naked woman in a hot tub when you could just watch fully naked women for free on like any number of
I don't
thousands of
know.
websites?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
Maybe one day we'll get big enough that we can do that.
Do what?
Hot tub stream.
We should at some
You
point
know,
if we're big enough.
If we get big enough, we're doing.
I will do a fucking stream with you from a hot tub.
Let's do it.
Just a couple of dudes in a hot tub.
We could have our girlfriend. Well, my girlfriend, your wife, or me, and just you and.
She's not
Taya,
gonna have
just be
anything.
weird,
She's gonna be like, nope. You have your little weird hot tub streaming session with Matt. I'm not a part of it.
All right. Well, should we start the podcast episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So for those of you new to the stream, since this is technically our first ever podcast from the stream, we'll come in and we'll do some just chatting like we have been.
Are we recording yet, or
No.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying to the stream.
okay.
We'll come in and we'll do this, and then we'll turn back around and we'll start the podcast. So we'll do a new introduction just for podcasting, and then go from there.
Yep.
So let's get ready to roll.
Let's get ready to rumble.
All right. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Just Browsin'. Matthew along with Zach today, and we got a bracket for you.
The Just Brackets podcast.
Yes, but if you want to follow us on Twitch, it's the Just Browsin' podcast.
And also on every other platform.
Exactly.
But we're just bracketsing today.
We're just bracketing today. No, we actually discussed this on our little snippet of an episode. So yeah, we have the bracket created for those of you listening. If you want to go to the Podbean page, there is a link under the brackets page, as well as if you scroll down past all of the like social media and media sites, there is a picture of the bracket you can click on. Feel free to print it out, follow along. Let us know what you think, and I think we're gonna jump right in. I think we can get through the whole episode today because it's not like 64.
Yeah, there's
And
less,
as you look at the bracket, there's you got the 1 seed who has a bye, and then you're already in the second round after, for the 8-9 seed, they're already in the second round. So
Yeah.
I think we can get through this pretty quickly.
I think so.
In terms of, our discussions might not be quick, but
right.
it's
But
not going to be like
we're
a
not
3
debating
episode.
nearly as many teams. Taya was going to print this off at work tonight and give it to all of her coworkers to fill out because they were apparently all of our legions of just browsing listeners and
the thousands
fans
and thousands.
Taya's place of employment. Apparently, we're not happy that we did not print off or post the bracket for our top all-time TV show bracket that you and I walked through. So that they didn't have a chance to fill it out. So they want a chance to be a part of this one, which I think is great. So what I was going to say is hopefully by the next time we record, I may have some filled out brackets by actual other human beings other than you and I with some varying opinions that we can either agree with or shit all over. So that'll be fun too.
Yeah, so then I guess we could do a recap of this, and then we'll jump into our Marvel bracket that is going to look the exact same, just with Marvel movies.
I think, to me, I'm not going to say anything right now because this could get kind of crazy because the Pixar movie. I think the Pixar and the Marvel brackets are going to be really, really hotly debated on some of the matchups. I think they're just going to be really hard to pick a team because Pixar doesn't make bad movies. Marvel doesn't make bad movies for the most part. So you're not going to get any real duds in here. Like even when we did our movie franchise bracket, they'll be like the MCU going up against like the Friday the 13th franchise or something. And it's like, all right, like this is a pretty obvious answer.
The best
to most
against
people.
best is,
yeah,
one's heavily favored and the worst against
Right.
worst. One's heavily favored in terms of being the worst.
Right. And with this, you have the factor of there's less teams because we're only dealing with 23 Pixar movies versus like 64 movie franchises or TV shows or whatever. And same thing with Marvel. There's only 23 movies thus far. And also, all of the movies are pretty evenly matched. I think I've seen. We'll go through here. I've maybe only not seen a couple of these, maybe like 3 tops
Right.
out of all 23. So I've seen all of them, and I've pretty much loved every Pixar movie I've ever seen, with the exception of maybe one.
I've never really been
And,
disappointed.
Yeah, I'm never disappointed. And I just recently saw one that I had missed that came out a couple years ago. Was really happy with it. I want to watch Luca is the new one they just released that's actually on Disney Plus.
Which is not in our bracket because at the time of us discussing this bracket, which if you missed it, we seeded these based on IMDb ratings.
Correct.
Obviously, number 1 best, 23 worst. If there was ties, it was just whatever Google ordered it by. But we did not put that in because at the time of the creation of this, it wasn't released yet. I think we were the day before, or no, it was released on Thursday, I believe. No, Friday of last week. And we had done this on Thursday, so I think we did this the day before, or whatever. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so,
basically what you're trying to say is it was not even out. It wasn't even available to watch at the time that we
Right.
were formulating this idea. And it's a little bit unfair to throw a movie like that's completely brand new into a bracket discussion like this because unlike The Incredibles, people haven't had years to watch this movie. You know what I mean? So I haven't seen it. I'm sure not that many people have seen it so far, but it is available on Disney Plus, and you don't have to. I don't think you have to pay the premium price to watch the movie. So hopefully a bunch of people will get the chance to watch it. Hopefully I get the chance to watch it here soon, and then I'll be all caught up on the Pixars, and I'll have a whole new opinion of their 24th movie. So and we're supposedly going to get like 4 Marvel movies before the end of the year, which I find to be kind of insane considering we're already in June, and Marvel had gotten, not to get too much on the Marvel discussion, but Marvel had gotten to the point where they were starting to release 3 movies per year just a couple of years ago, but they were even doing 3. It was like 1 in March, 1 in August, 1 in like November. It wasn't like we're already in June.
They're going to just bang, bang, bang.
They're
like
going
2
to be
months
cranking
apart.
them out. Yeah, like 2 months apart to get 4 of them in before the end of the year. So I don't know how that's going to go. I'm sure they're going to be dope. I love Marvel, but
They're just trying to make up for last year's missed
what it is.
box office
That's what it is.
numbers. But yeah, so
I'm gonna pull up the.
going back to Pixar,
I'm pulling up the IMDb ratings too, just so we can have that to reference while we're talking about it.
I guess what we could do, and I'll do this for the Marvel, is I'll just include the IMDb on the end. I'll just merge the cells together, and then it'll just be, whatever their name is, followed by a number.
Okay. Yeah, I think people would be kind of interested in that. I mean, normally I'm interested in that kind of stuff, to see what I have increasingly gone away from the Rotten Tomatoes rating and gone more towards the IMDb rating when I'm looking up the quality of a show or the quality of a movie. So I think a lot of people would find that to be interesting, especially like given the way that we've seeded them. It would hopefully give a little bit of context into like how did we come up with these seeds. Because we're not just blindly pulling them out of a hat and saying, Cars is a 1 seed or something,
Although it would be kind of fun because the matches would be completely random. And I mean, it's kind of like that, though, for our TV series bracket because my top 4 were all in the same bracket.
Right.
Like in the bottom side of the bracket.
Right.
So,
well, and I think with this, it's not going to really matter that much what the seeds are. Like I said,
it's
the
all
matchups
about
are so close. And and everyone has their own personal affinity towards each movie. So if you come up in a matchup where you're like, oh my God, WALL-E is my favorite movie of all time. Well, obviously WALL-E's going to beat whatever, regardless if it's a 16 seed or not. You know what I mean?
You're coming in with big, like you said, it's small enough that you come in with that. Okay, out of these 23, this is my favorite, so it's already won. So no matter what it goes through, it's going to beat. Mm-hmm. And unlike the 64, you're like, these 4 are my favorite, so they're going to make it to the championship. But there's still so many other matchups that you've got to sit there and go, oh, I don't know, this is a tough one, or I've never seen any of these movies, so I've seen one of these, it moves on. So.
Yeah. Hopefully this will be a little bit more, you'll have a little bit more thoughts on a lot of the matchups, because I think on our TV show bracket podcast, you hadn't seen quite a few of those TV shows, and same for me. I mean, we had 64
we had to
TV shows on there, yeah, so it was like, I watch a lot of TV and I've seen a lot of TV shows, but for a lot of them, it's like I've heard of this but never seen an episode. So, you can't really make much of an educated opinion on who's going to advance. But on something like this, I'm pretty sure I've seen most of these with the exception of maybe 3 or 4. I don't know.
There's a few I haven't seen, and they're going to lose. But, I mean... Some of these, if I have seen them, they're still going to lose. So
yeah, should we just go through the matchups for the listeners in case they don't have the bracket? In front of them real quick?
So we're going to just start, and we'll just go through the seeds because the bracket's a little messed up, just being a 23-team bracket. So the first overall seed is WALL-E. The second overall seed is Coco. The third overall seed is Toy Story. The fourth overall seed is Toy Story 3. The fifth overall seed is Up. Sixth overall seed is Monsters, Inc. Seventh overall seed is Finding Nemo. Eighth overall seed is Inside Out. Ninth overall seed is Soul, which I think is one of the newest ones.
Yeah, it is.
10th overall seed is The Incredibles. 11th overall seed is Ratatouille. 12th overall seed is Toy Story 2. God, I forget there's 4 of those.
Yeah.
13th overall seed is Toy Story 4. 14th overall seed is The Incredibles 2. 15th overall seed is Onward, which is a newer one, right?
Love it. Yeah, it's new. Yeah.
16th overall seed is Finding Dory. 17th overall seed is A Bug's Life. 18th overall seed is Monsters University. 19th overall seed is Cars. 20th overall seed is Brave. 21st overall seed is Cars 3. 22nd overall seed is The Good Dinosaur. And rounding out the bracket is Cars 2 at the number 23 overall seed. And as we go through the bracket, we'll explain the matchups. We can say the seeds again, and then, because like I said, it's a weird bracket because you have the 1 seed who's automatically in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So
it would have made it a little bit easier if there was a 24th movie, because then we were dealing with an even number. But, traditional brackets are normally NCAA college basketball tournament level size that are 64. And that's what we've done for our movie franchise bracket. That's what we've done for the TV show bracket. And it's just, I don't know, it's a little bit more like symmetrical to the eye.
It's a true structured bracket. It's just a weird bracket. So, like I said, go to the Podbean website and you can not download it, but you can print it from there. It's just in a Google Doc, and yeah, let us know what you think. But I think we're gonna jump into our first matchup, which is the 16th seed Finding Dory versus 17th seed A Bug's Life.
Who do you have here?
So I have A Bug's Life, and A Bug's Life is one of those movies that I grew up with as a kid. And I watched it so much. It was just so much fun because it was like a kid war movie in a sense where you have the ants fighting the grasshoppers. And it was just, I mean, there's comedy in it. I thought it was a good story. You know, it was really fun. And then going on the other side for Finding Dory, I just feel I'd already seen Finding Dory before in a movie that we'll discuss later called Finding Nemo. Finding Dory was a great movie. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it over and over again. But in this matchup, I have to go with A Bug's Life just because I think I would watch A Bug's Life more than I would Finding Dory. And A Bug's Life is the only A Bug's Life out there. Yep. There is no...
That's a good point.
A Bug's Life 2, or if there is, who made it? And then I'll think if I want to watch it.
I'm going with the exact same answer on this one. I'm going A Bug's Life over Finding Dory. Nothing against Finding Dory. I think I've seen it once, and I haven't watched it again. I haven't rewatched it. It's fine. It's not as good as its predecessor, Finding Nemo, and it's not as good as A Bug's Life. I think A Bug's Life is just part of what makes Pixar so amazing is their original stories that always... They never cease to amaze you and fascinate you, and I think A Bug's Life is one of those original stories that was just so clever. Like, you don't really realize until the end of the movie. You know, the beginning shot comes in, and you're coming down on this there's a tree and, like, this kind of little grassy area around it, and these little, like, valley things off.
Just like cracks
in little cracks
in the grass
in the dirt or whatever.
Right.
And they keep zooming in, and that's where all the events take place. But you're down on a ant's size level, so everything seems so big, and they have to travel so long to get to places. And then at the end of the movie, they fade out, and you're like, "Oh yeah, all of this literally just took place at like the base of a tree in the middle of this
middle of a park
place."
with like guys playing chess.
Yeah, it's like,
and that's it.
So just the cleverness of the way they devised the plot and where it takes place, and just bringing you down to, it was like, you know, it was kind of having like an Ant-Man style story before Ant-Man, you know, where you're like brought down, you're shrunken down to this bugs level, and you're experiencing this story through their perspective, and everything seems so, you know, they got to like ride on, like, what are those, like dandelions they fly on or whatever?
Yeah, the seeds of the dandelion.
Yeah, the seeds of the dandelions to like fly across this big open ridge, and like to a human it'd be like, you know, walk a few steps and you're across it, but to them it's like this massive chasm that they can't get across unless they like hitch a ride on this thing. And then, you know, if they're out there and a bird comes by, like a bird is like the ultimate predator because it'll just come by. It's super fast and really big, and it'll come pick them off and stuff. It's great. And then the grasshoppers are like their arch nemesis or whatever. And like,
I mean, it doesn't fall short in any
it's great. It's hilarious.
Of being a movie.
It's heartfelt.
I'm a
it's
like little butterfly.
Yeah, it's all of the things that make a good Pixar movie a good movie. And yeah, I think for all of those reasons we just stated, A Bug's Life's moving on.
I agree. And so, going to touch on this while we're here, but the way the brackets lined up, we're going to continue in this first round before we jump into the weird second round. So in our next matchup, we have the 13 seed Toy Story 4 going against the 20 seed Brave. And on this one, I like Brave. I think it's a good movie, but Toy Story 4 gets the nod for me. Just holy cow, I'm joking. Just on this one, I don't know. Brave didn't really connect with me like Toy Story did. I mean, again, Toy Story, the original one, was a movie that we grew up with and we watched all the time. So Toy Story 4 coming out, I think it came out in like 2015 or 16, if I'm not mistaken.
No, the fourth one, I think it was more like 2019.
Oh,
it's pretty recent,
well,
actually.
I got my years mixed up then.
Yeah.
CT is a hell of a drug. But I went with Toy Story 4. I just think it's, you know, those are still characters that we grew up with, and
yeah,
I just had to pick them.
So I you know, no disparity yet in the bracket. I picked the exact same thing. I will say Brave is the only Pixar movie I've ever seen that I was not really impressed with, for whatever reason. It's not a bad movie, but I think in comparison to all of the other Pixar movies, it's definitely the worst one I've seen. And
Right.
like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but
there's
most of the other Pixar movies I see, I'm like, that was really good. I just happen to like X better.
Right.
With this one, I was like, I'm not going to say that was really good. I actually don't think it was a really good movie. I think it was just kind of subpar. So,
Right.
And I think Toy Story 4, it's not the best Toy Story in the whole franchise, but it's a damn good movie.
It's a good movie.
And I think all of the Toy Story movies, it's really remarkable that any series of movies has 4 entries that are that strong. Like,
Yeah.
they're all really good.
I mean, you always think that they're gonna like a movie's gonna start to fall off after even the first one.
Yeah.
Some movies are so good, you're like, please never make another one. And they're like,
right.
no, we're like Fast and Furious, for
Yeah,
example, that we've
exactly.
talked about.
That's the most prime
Honestly,
example of that.
after Fast 5, I was like, okay, be done.
Yeah,
You guys
stop
brought in The
making it,
Rock,
yeah.
like. You guys just went big, and
Yeah.
now they're like, yeah, we're on Fast 412,616. And I'm like, great, my great grandkids are going to grow up watching Vin Diesel and Fast movies.
I think just a really quick, I won't go off on a Fast and Furious tangent because I can definitely do that for a long time. I think that franchise peaked at Fast 5, and then I think they should have for sure stopped at Furious 7. Oh, good. And then
Let's go bark at nothing.
And then anything after that, I refuse to watch. I watched up to the 7th one, and then I just am done.
Well, I think part of it, too, is you lose Paul Walker, who was, in my opinion, the main character of this franchise.
Yeah.
So, when he tragically passed, it's kind of one of those, you kind of fade his character off. But for everything I've seen on Fast 9, they're bringing his wife back, Mia, and it's just, I don't know.
I just don't understand again, not to go off on the Fast and Furious thing, I just don't understand, what the plots are at this point. Like, what are they even doing in
Fast,
the movie?
loud cars with explosions and big movie stars.
They've just
I don't
become
know.
like a superhero team. They're like the fucking street level Avengers. And
Right.
They're just, anytime any, secret government agency needs some device stolen or some ultra badass bad guys are trying to break into some top secret facility and do something, it's like, oh, call Toretto's team. It's like, what the fuck? I don't know. Again, I'm not going off on, we're doing a Pixar bracket podcast. I'm not going to go off on the Fast and Furious thing, but franchise fatigue is a real thing. It's something that people should definitely be aware of. Toy Story does not have it. Now, who knows if Toy Story 5 comes out and it starts taking a really big dip, then we might be
then you
changing
gotta
our
stop.
tune. But so far, the first 4 have been pretty incredible. All of
Well, and staying on Toy Story, Toy Story 2 versus Cars 3 is the 12 versus 21 matchup. So staying with the Toy Story train here, I have Toy Story 2 moving on because Cars 3 was one of those franchise fatigues, I think, that got honestly, and I'll say this when we get to the Cars matchup, Cars, in my opinion, should have stopped after 1 because 2 and 3 are just a little not the same for me as in terms of the first. Whereas Toy Story, like you said, never fatigued. They probably could make a 5th, and if they do it the same way they've made the 4 previous ones,
they
could make a 6th.
There's no dip in the Toy Story
No.
franchise. They're all of equal greatness. I think I have the same answer as you here. I have Toy Story 2 over Cars 3. There's 2 things going for this decision for me. A, I think the Toy Story movies, again, like we just said, are all 4 really good movies. B, I've only ever seen Cars 1. So 2 of these movies on this bracket that I have not seen are the 2 Cars sequels. But I've heard from a lot of people that they're actually not very good. And that's backed up by the IMDb rankings. They're the 2 lowest ranked according to IMDb. Cars 3 has a 6.7 out of 10. Cars 2 has a 6.1 out of 10. So just not apparently very good. Let's see. The first one has a 7.1 out of 10. So a pretty marginally
Right, so
better
it's a
movie.
good movie.
I'm a big fan of the original Cars. I just have never had any interest in seeing the sequels. And after people had watched them and told me don't bother, I was like, okay, I'm
They're
not
not.
interested.
They're not. I mean, I still think they're enjoyable movies, but you sit there and you're kind of like, I would have rather you just stopped after the first one and
Right.
let us be on our way. But they gotta get that money, so that's what they went with.
Well, I mean, it's Pixar, and Pixar is owned by Disney, so Disney is pretty much just after the money, and that's basically it. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
oh, look who we got in the motherfucking Twitch stream.
go Monsters Inc. or up. from our great friend Brandon. We are not going to introduce his Twitch name on here, though, because it's a little inappropriate, if you might say so myself. But StonerCat50, thank you for the follow. So, yeah, Brandon, we'll get to Monsters, Inc. up here in a second.
Oh, yeah, we'll get there. I have lots of thoughts on both of them.
Actually, moving on to the next part of our bracket, we have the 15 seed Onward going against the 18 seed Monsters University. So, the prequel / sequel to Monsters, Inc. I mean, it's the prequel in terms of storyline, but it's the sequel in terms of when it was released.
Yep. Do you want me to tell you my answer?
You go first. We'll have you go first on this side of the bracket.
Mine's Onward on this one, and it's not even close. Onward, if anyone out there has
Onward.
Yeah, if anyone out there has not seen Onward and you're a big fan of the Pixar movies, watch it. It's fucking hilarious. It's honestly like in my top 5 Pixar movies that I've seen.
Well, I guess we'll determine that on this bracket.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be going far on mine.
How far? Wait, don't answer that because we have to finish the bracket.
Yeah, you told me I'm not supposed to spoil anything like I did last time.
Zach's like, yeah, so by the way, these are my final four. It's like, all right, we're in the round of 64.
We're in the round of 64, and I'm like, guess what? Star Wars is my champion. And I was like, why did you say that?
So if you guys want to just tune into the finale episode where you hear why Zach's champion is Star Wars.
Yeah. Thanks. The next match. Oh wait,
I got.
Fuck what Matt's.
Dude. I'm just. I'll just sit here and wave at the camera all day. No, I have Monsters University moving on.
What? Oh, is it because you haven't seen Onward?
Well, I haven't seen Onward. Correct.
Okay.
But I feel like
you've seen Onward and you still think Monsters University is better, we need to discuss this.
I don't know. Part of this is kind of like a nostalgic feeling because Monsters Inc. came out when we were. I think we discussed it. It had come out when we were probably like 5th or 6th grade, so it might not have been exactly for us, but we were all like, yeah, we're watching that movie. Yeah. And it was the greatest movie ever. Monsters University came out when we were in college. Mm-hmm. So they targeted the exact same audience, and being older at the time, they kept the same kind of humor in it, and it was humor that we all picked up on then, and we're like, holy shit, these movies are not made for kids,
well, and
but
it was
kids
also
don't
like
pick this up.
Them going through the college experience, which is like what all of us were doing at the time when that movie came out. Which, ironically enough, now that you think about it, the original we should all relate to more because they were like grown-ups working a day job every day. So
now
that you're older, you relate to the first movie even more still because it's not like they were kids; they were actual like adults with day jobs in the first one, which is like now what all of us are doing. So
but yeah, I mean. It like had that nostalgic feeling when it came out when we were in college. I went and saw it, and I was just like, all of the little snarky comments and remarks and when we were kids, we're like, haha, but we had no clue what they meant. You sit there and you go, holy shit, this is not kid-friendly despite it being a PG movie. These jokes go straight over the kids' heads, but it's not kid-friendly.
I actually dropped I guess this is not a Monsters University reference, but a Monsters Inc. reference the other day at dinner. Someone was saying something about like the government coming to swoop in, and like I don't even know exactly how it related, but I was like, yeah, they're gonna come rappelling down from the sides and be like, we got a 2319. We got a 2319. Dude, Monsters Inc. is so fucking great, but we're not talking about Monsters Inc. We're talking about Monsters University.
But we can move to the next one.
But I liked Onward way more.
Well, you just have bad taste in movies.
Oh, yeah, that's
and we've learned that in our other brackets.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Just a shame.
Next matchup is The Incredibles. By the way, did we list the seed numbers for that last matchup?
Yeah, we did 15 and 18.
Okay. The next matchup is the number 10 seed, The Incredibles, versus the number 23 seed, Cars 2. This is a pretty easy one for me. I went with The Incredibles. I haven't seen Cars 2, so that makes that easy. And also, The Incredibles is top 2 Pixar movies of my entire life from what I've seen.
All right.
So that
well,
was
we're
easy.
really just narrowing this bracket down right away. I went with The Incredibles as well. Again, a movie that came out when we were younger, and to me, it was a movie that came out when we were, I wouldn't say we weren't necessarily into superheroes yet, but it was kind of a kid superhero movie. Kid being that kid-friendly movie and everything. So it was just a good movie, and it's just a great overall story, and it's a good Pixar movie. So yeah, I have The Incredibles moving on as well.
It's so good. So yeah, that one. The Incredibles is going to match up with our 7 seed Finding Nemo that got the first round bye, just because this is a weird bracket with odd teams. Continuing down, we got The Incredibles 2 at the 14 seed matching up against the original Cars at the 19 seed. So, speaking of Incredibles 2, we got a hot take in Twitch stream where Brandon was saying low-key Incredibles 2 is better than the first one. That's a bold fucking statement. Incredibles 2 is really good, but come on, man. Is it better than the original?
Well, you know what? If you want me to start on this one and jump in on topic right away, I think The Incredibles 2 is amazing, but I have Cars beating them and moving on because there was just too many funny one-liners, I feel like, in Cars. And I
will say
it stuck with me.
During the pandemic, when we first signed up for Disney Plus, we went and rewatched a bunch of Pixar movies, and one of the ones that we rewatched that I had not seen in years was the original Cars. And I'm like, this is a good fucking movie. It's really good. It's hilarious. And I think for that reason, I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to go with the original Cars. Nothing against Incredibles 2, but I am more partial to the original Incredibles than I am to the sequel. And I think Cars is the best entry in that whole series, and Cars is one of the best Pixar movies they've done. So,
yeah. So, I mean, I think Cars beats Incredibles 2. Again, Incredibles 2, nothing bad to say about it. I guess the only thing bad I would say about Incredibles 2 is it took too long.
To come out,
come out. At the end of The Incredibles, they have, the mole guy, I can't remember what they call him, come out of the ground, and you're like, oh, they're about to make a sequel. Like, it's going to be, not back-to-back, but soon. And it was like 40 years later.
It wasn't that long, but I'm going to look that up because it did take... I remember watching that as a kid going like, oh, shit, we're going to get a sequel. You're like, that's the new bad guy for the next movie. And then it's like, I'm an adult 10 years later, 15 years later, or however long it was, and it's like, finally, the sequel comes out. Let's see what the... Okay, The Incredibles, the original, came out in 2004.
Had to have come out in like 2016 or something, right?
The sequel... I'm just going to search it because I don't know what's going on here.
He's going to search it. Just, he's not prepared. Okay, well, while he does that, I'll set up our next matchup real quick because it is the
2018. So 2004 to 2018.
Right, so they took too damn long to come out with it. That's why they're getting knocked in my bracket. But setting up the 11 versus 22 seed, we have Ratatouille against The Good Dinosaur. How do you feel about that one?
Ratatouille. I'm going with Ratatouille because A, I haven't seen The Good Dinosaur, and B, Ratatouille is awesome. It's a great movie.
I have seen The Good Dinosaur. Great movie. I recommend it.
You like it?
I recommend it. But Ratatouille is just one of those movies that you watch it and it just captures you. And you're like, you know what? You know what also like made me like it even more? I loved the movie Mouse Hunt. And it was like an old movie.
I don't think I've seen Mouse Hunt.
Oh, dude, it's I think it's a DreamWorks, a Disney movie. I think it's a little bit older, but that movie was kind of like Ratatouille in a way, but it's like I don't know how to explain it. Watch Mouse Hunt and tell me what you think sometime.
Okay.
Because I love that movie. I just love it, and so that helped me like Ratatouille even more because it kind of has the same storyline, but not in the terms of like it's not a mouse that cooks, but it's a mouse that helps create like a cheese factory.
Mouse Hunt came out in 1997.
Great movie.
Wow.
Great movie. But yeah, I have Ratatouille moving on to the second round.
Ratatouille is really good. And they always used to show it to us in school. It feels like that's one of the very few Pixar movies they show it to you in school because if you ever take like a foods class or anything.
Class or even...
feels like you're always watching Ratatouille.
I think in a French class they were watching it too.
Yeah. It's great, man. It's fucking awesome. If you like food or if you're into like the culinary scene at all, it's a pretty fun movie to watch because they do make some bomb-looking food in that movie. Even though obviously we're dealing with an animated,
I agree,
animated movie, but
well, that is the first round, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it was a quick first round because we had a few of those teams got a bye. So we'll see that we're going to start getting into some more interesting matchups here.
So now we're bringing in the number, and I think the only discrepancy we had was you had Onward Moving Forward over Monsters University, and I had Monsters University. So
correct. I think everything else is the same though.
So with that being said, this should be in a little less complicated of a second round because we only have one that we'll have to change up the answers on. So for this, we have the first seed Wall-E coming in against A Bug's Life for both of us.
This is what I like, man. This is why I'm excited we did the bracket. It's matchups like this.
Why you're here.
It's matchups like this that are like, all right, this is tough, because I
don't know if you watched me fill in my bracket, but I
haven't been watching.
I had been bringing someone down the whole time.
I ride for A Bug's Life hard. I love A Bug's Life. But, dude, Wall-E is a straight-up masterpiece. Wall-E is so fucking good. It just in general as a movie, not even by Pixar standards. It's so good.
Yeah.
Wall-E's moving on for me.
So, we'll keep it pretty simple for this one as well, but Wall-E is also moving on for me. It is probably the most watched Pixar movie for me.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it has to probably be the most watched Pixar movie for me. And I think it just has to do with, like, the story and everything is just... It's a great story, and there's never, like, a dull moment. Like, it hits all your emotions. There's fun.
And, dude, it's a fucking love story between two robots that you, like, really get invested in.
Right, and it's, like, a robot that
one of them is
nothing.
He's a trash collector. He's a trash collector. He pushes trash into cubes and stacks them.
And then the other one is, like, this high-tech, super scientific,
advanced
model robot, and... Yeah, I mean, it's just great. If you haven't seen Wall-E, do yourself a favor. Go watch Wall-E.
You have to watch Wall-E.
You'll thank us later. You can send us a postcard just via email to justsomebrowsing@gmail.com.
And a PayPal.
To justsomebrowsing@gmail.com.
Well, and just to mention it really quickly, too, one of the highest rated Pixar movies on our
Brandon
entire
has
list.
never seen Wall-E, so we're going to go ahead and just befriend him now.
It is fucking incredible. It's got an 8.4 out of 10. One of the highest ratings on this entire list.
It's not surprising, though, because this guy doesn't have a good taste in anything.
I'm not going to get into that.
We'll make that our next episode. Brandon, you're a guest.
Our next episode will be titled Why Brandon Has Shitty Taste in Movies.
But moving on to the 8 versus 9, we have Inside Out and Soul. This one was pretty easy for me. I've never seen Soul. I have seen Inside Out. It was a letdown, to be honest with you.
Really? That's what Taya said. She actually was like, because I actually still have not seen it. I've seen bits of it, but I've never seen it from start to finish. And she was like, I wasn't a fan, to be honest. She didn't like it that much.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not, it's not one of those movies you're going to watch and be like, this was, terrible. But it's one of those, to me, it's not a Pixar. Like, it just was really sad. It's kind of like a sad, it's supposed to be about all the emotions of a young teenage girl. And it's just like, it was just kind of like sad. It wasn't what I thought it would be. Okay. And so it was just kind of a letdown in terms of that. But I do have it moving on because I haven't seen Soul. So
okay, well, fair enough. I'm the opposite because of basically the same rationale that you made your decision. I picked Soul to move on here. Excuse me. Soul is one of the newest ones. I believe that actually came out in 2020. And I haven't seen Inside Out. I find it kind of ironic that these two movies have matched up against each other in the bracket because they're both kind of a similar concept. Inside Out is about the emotions of a teenage girl and like they're inside her head, right? And you're like actually following the adventures of these emotions as they're trying to like help this little girl or this teenage girl like navigate through her struggles in her life and all that, right? Soul is a lot like that, where you take this idea, this abstract idea of like emotions being like personified and actually being people. And Soul is like literally about when people die and their soul goes to extend. It goes on this like big staircase to whatever the other region is. They never like go into it too much, but they're like, it goes on to the other side. It's basically about like people who have lost their way in life and never had the chance to realize their true passion, and they've worked like a dead-end job their whole life, or they never found their true love or whatever. And it's all about like discovering your passion and making sure that your soul doesn't become untethered to your body and just wandering around in this like soulless wasteland where it never got to realize its full potential. It's a very like kind of mature adult take on like what happens to people when they get stuck not being able to pursue their passion, being stuck in like a day job and just grinding it out day in, day out, year in, year out. So they're kind of both the same in terms of taking like emotions, making them actual people, and taking like the soul and making an actual
just
like
a different
person.
different periods of one's life.
And it goes through even like these cosmic creators or whatever that exist in this soul plane. They'll even take like little baby souls that are like just being born, and they like usher them through this little portal to go down to Earth and be like inserted into like a person's body, like a baby as they're being born. And it's like their job is to match the souls with the body and stuff. It's really good. And it's all about like this music teacher who was like a really talented, I think he's a pianist, and he wanted to play in like a jazz band, but it never really did work out, and he kind of had to like make money and support himself and support his family, and he ended up just being like a music teacher, and he's kind of stuck being a music teacher at like a middle school, and he's not fulfilled and all this kind of stuff. And then like the day he gets this opportunity to go play with like his jazz band hero, he like trips and falls into a sewer and dies, and his soul like goes up, and he has to like try and get the whole time he's trying to get back to his body to play. Like he's like, I refuse to pass on to the other side. Like I just got my break,
right?
And I'm going back down there to get in my body. It's actually it's a good movie. It's funny. And then
I'll have to give it a go.
He like buddies up with this soul who is missing. It like the cosmic creators haven't been able to fit her with a body yet because she just like refused. She likes being a soul without a body and just hanging out and stuff. And she's fucking hilarious the entire movie. So you should check it out. I highly recommend Soul. Soul's good. So I had Soul moving on past Inside Out. I haven't seen Inside Out, but I definitely still
so we're
want to check it
opposites
out.
on that. One of us hasn't seen one, the other one hasn't seen the other. But moving on to our 4 verse 13 in the next, which is Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4.
We're gonna get a lot of Toy Story matchups here, which I didn't think about because there are 4 of them, and they're all 4 really good.
Well, I have Toy Story 3 beating out Toy Story 4. I think Toy Story 3...
Okay, remind me again what happens in each one again. Just what's the plot?
So Toy Story
do you
is just
remember?
like the initial...
I remember the original, and I
like
think I remember the 4th one. But the
second one is when they introduce you to like
confused.
Jesse and Bullseye.
Oh,
and
okay.
I can't think of the old.
And then they end up having that they're on top of the elevator, and like, what's the dude who like
Zurg?
Yeah, General Zurg or whatever,
Yeah.
and they recreate the whole Star Wars scene where he's like, "I am your father,"
Yeah.
and like Buzz is like, "No."
And then
the third one is like that they're at that daycare center, right?
Right,
and
with
like
the teddy bear.
That purple teddy bear like runs the fucking
psycho
place.
teddy bear. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I got it. I'm back because
So-
they get kind of blended in my head.
So I
a
went
little
with 3 over 4. I think 3 is honestly the best Toy Story.
They almost like all die in the third one. Remember?
Yeah, because the
They're
teddy
in like
bear.
that trash heap thing, and they're like slowly sliding down towards that incinerator, and they're all like holding hands.
And it's the
shit.
teddy bear that did it.
It gets pretty rough there for a minute. You're like, are we gonna watch all of our favorite toys get incinerated in a ball of fire? Jesus. I'm gonna go with Toy Story 4 on this one.
Toast Story.
Toy Story, yeah. It's
Dude,
on.
imagine someone makes like a Toast movie called Toast Story.
No.
Or you
it's
want to
gonna
talk
be
about
even
Toe.
better though. It's Toe Story.
Go to the Just Browsin
Instead of-
OnlyFans
yeah, I
to
was-
see the Toe Story.
I was gonna say instead of on OnlyFans, it's on an Only Toes account. You can get a.
No, we're launching our OnlyFans, and that's going to be our...
It's just gonna be toes.
Toes.
Just feet pics.
Dude,
and
people
stuff.
do that. It's weird.
I know.
All right,
it's a real
anyways,
thing.
going back to
Yeah.
Pixar.
That could be a different episode in the future.
We should talk about it, yeah. So you have Toy Story
we
4
should
moving
address
on
that.
over Toy Story 3.
I do.
And the fighting continues. All right. Well, moving on to the next Toy Story. We have the number 12, Toy Story 2, going against the number 5 seed Up.
Oh shit, Brandon, perk up your ears, my friend.
We could make a Toes Story podcast. The Toes Story podcast, hosted by the Just Browsin podcast. Hosted by the Just Brackets podcast.
We already have too many spinoffs because then there's the Just Slippers, which we're gonna do on Sunday mornings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when we get big enough and we...
How's that one
doing
going
our
to be?
talk
Are we
show-
going to like just have actual newspapers and just sit with like little
with
hot,
like our
hot steaming cups of coffee
hot
and
steam
just
in our robes?
in a robe, yeah, with some
Yeah.
slippers on, and
Yep.
just be like, all right, and then
On a
just
patio.
talk real quietly,
In
just
like a rocker chair, like rocking,
Yeah.
that's squeaking back and
welcome
forth.
everybody to the Just Slippers podcast. It's Sunday morning. It's beautiful outside.
And that's all you get today. See you guys tomorrow.
We
No.
we just read the box scores of like the latest scores in the paper.
Great. And then we go in and watch football.
I'm going with Up on this
Oh
one.
yeah, easy choice.
Yeah, and it's not because I don't want to offend Brandon, who is in the stream.
I would
'cause
offend
he
him every day of my
would
life
have been
if I
offended
could.
had we not picked Up on that one. But there's so many. Again, there's 4 Toy Stories. I think the first one is the best. I liked the second one, but I think I maybe liked 3 and 4 better. That's the only reason I'm going with that. And I just think Up is a superior movie. If it was going against like the original Toy Story, I might have to think about that a little bit harder, but Up is just great.
So we have the hot take of the dog and Kevin, the bird, are the funny characters in Up, which he's not wrong on. Brandon
Dude.
definitely is not wrong on that.
Up is a tremendous movie. Also, it has one of the most incredible and sad intros to a movie ever made.
Yep.
Ever made. Like, it's literally like 5 minutes, and you're like sitting there just heartbroken for this poor old man. And it's like no words have even been spoken. It's like a montage.
And then the boy shows up,
And you're like, oh my God, what are we
and
getting
it turns
into?
into a great old time.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie never gets old.
I need to rewatch that. I actually have not seen that in a while, and it's tremendous.
That's one you could definitely watch over and over and over again.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that good. So we both have Up moving on, so we at least have that to discuss. But moving over to the next side of the bracket, we have our 2-seed Coco going up against, in your case, Onward, the 15 seed, and in my case, Monsters University, the 18 seed. I'm just going to assume you have Onward moving on, as you kind of spoiled that for us in the first round. So
I didn't spoil
thanks a
anything.
lot. Yeah, you said you have them in your top 5 when we were through the first round.
I said it's in my top 5 Pixar movies of all time. Does that mean I'm going to actually pick it to advance?
100%, yeah.
Maybe I'm going to change
Because-
my mind as we
because-
go through, Matt.
Because Coco,
I'm a human being. I have free will. Can I not change my mind?
no,
when I
because
want to?
Coco would kick it out of the top 5.
Yeah, I know.
So logic
I
says,
can have my own top 5.
Yeah,
rankings
well, your top
that exist
5 sucks
separate of
already.
this bracket.
So, anyways,
All right, let's pause the podcast. We're going to have to deal with this.
No, we're gonna just fight on camera. Go ahead and join the Just Browsing podcast on Twitch, and you can watch us brawl.
Yeah.
I have Monsters University beating Coco. Just such a good movie. I can't, and I don't think I've ever seen.
Oh,
Coco
so you had
fully
you had
through.
Monsters University beating Onward and then beating Coco as
Yep.
well. So I actually just recently saw Coco, literally within the last couple of weeks. I had never seen it prior to that. It's a really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Kayla, if you're listening to this, thanks for showing it to me. But it's not going to get the nod over Onward. I'm just a really, 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 really big fan of Onward, and they're both actually 2 like kind of newer Pixar movies.
Yep.
Coco is very beautifully shot. Like, it's a very like beautiful movie to watch. But I think Onward, just the concept of Onward, is really funny. And then they also have Chris Pratt and Tom Holland doing the voices of the 2 main characters, and they're just really funny as like these brothers. I don't even know what they are in that world. It's like a fantasy world, and I don't know what
Brothers or friends.
they're like. But like what species they are is what I'm trying to figure
It's
out.
a fantasy
I don't know.
world.
They're like,
that doesn't matter.
they're like orcs or something. I don't know what they are, but it's fucking hilarious.
They're on their way to Mordor?
Is the point? Yeah, kind of. They're like on an adventure. Yeah.
There they go.
It's just great. So,
right, so you have
Onward's
Onward
gonna
moving on.
get the nod over Coco.
All right.
So that's Onward was
Onward is the 15.
15
beating
over
the
a 2.
And I have the 18 over the 2.
Yeah, so some upsets there.
Upset.
So the next one, I think we had the same one here, right?
Yep.
The Incredibles moving on
Incredibles versus
past Cars
Finding
2,
Nemo.
and then the Incredibles versus Finding Nemo at the 7th seed. 2 really good original movies from Pixar that kind of really, I think, expanded Pixar's brand when they came out. I mean, we've talked about The Incredibles, the original, already several times on this podcast. It's going to get the nod for me over Finding Nemo. It's closer than I'm making it sound, but I just am so partial to The Incredibles. I cannot, in good faith, pick that. I can't pick Finding Nemo over The Incredibles.
Yeah,
just can't
I
do
have
it.
The Incredibles moving on as well. Finding Nemo is definitely one of my favorite Pixar movies.
It's good.
It's just such an original in terms of I don't think there's ever been a movie like that, at least Disney or Pixar wise, until Finding Dory, of course. But it's just, I mean, there's nothing bad to say about Finding Nemo. You're introduced to hilarious characters the whole time. Like Dory, she's a hilarious character. Bruce and the other 2 sharks are hilarious characters. You know, it's just a good, the turtle, I can't remember his name. And
Like,
Squirt
yeah,
are
the
hilarious
turtles being like
characters.
stoners, basically. there's so many like quotable lines from that movie too. You know, like there's just like we were hanging out. One of Sam's friends, Brandon, actually recently cracked me up because we like woke up and it was like a really nice day out or whatever, and he's like, the sun is shining, the tank is clean. I was like, dude, I have not heard anyone quote Finding Nemo in so long, but it's got so many great quotes from that movie.
Dude, it's just such a good movie, but if I'm going to sit down between Finding Nemo and The Incredibles, and that's really what it came down to in terms of picking this, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to choose The Incredibles to watch over Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
So that's why I have the.
And it's really on. Like I honestly think it's closer than we're making it sound, because Finding Nemo is great, but The Incredibles is just better.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is a lot closer than people will think it is.
Yeah.
Because you have to look at the greatness of both of them, but I do think The Incredibles beats it out.
I agree.
At the end of the day.
Okay, so the next matchup, we have the original Toy Story at the 3 seed versus the original Cars at the 19 seed. I went personally. This is kind of a tough one, but I went with Toy Story. I just went with my gut. The original Toy Story, I think, is just a stronger movie. The original Cars is hands down the best out of that whole series. Even though I haven't seen the other two, I think that's just kind of a widely accepted opinion. And it's really, really funny, but I think the original Toy Story, it's the very first Pixar movie ever made, and it's just
beyond incredible.
It's amazing. The animation, it came out in like 1999. The animation still looks incredible. I'm pretty sure it like literally was nominated for awards and shit. Like it was a big deal, and it was like the first animated movie released by that studio. You know, Steve Jobs had a big part in creating Pixar and all this kind of stuff, and then eventually leading to, you know, the creation of this whole Pixar like creative renaissance that we've been seeing over the last 2 decades or more. But it's just, you really can't, you'd be hard pressed to find a better Pixar movie than the original Toy Story. It's hilarious. It's got an all-star cast of like just A-list actors. The plot is really good. The setting is amazing. All the characters are good. It's funny. I don't know. I mean, what can you say that's bad about Toy Story?
There's nothing bad. And I think, like, I love Cars, but again, it comes down to one of those, the watchability of Toy Story over Cars is just way higher, and excuse me, it just hits so much more of like an entertaining movie. And it's just, I mean, I don't think this one's very close in my personal opinion. I do edge Toy Story way over Cars though, so I think we're the same on that one at least.
All right. Do we have the same matchups down here?
Yes, Ratatouille versus Monsters, Inc.
Yeah.
And that is the 11 versus 6.
I went with Monsters, Inc. Ratatouille is a really good movie, but you know me, I'm a gigantic fan of Monsters, Inc. It's fucking amazing.
I went with Monsters, Inc. as well. There's nothing bad I can say about it.
Yeah.
There's truly nothing. There's nothing bad I can say about any of these movies, really. But Monsters, Inc. is just, it's an iconic movie.
Yeah.
I think I have 2 DVD copies of it from when I was younger. Didn't own any of Ratatouille. I just got to watch that when it was on TV.
It's also an incredibly brilliant original idea.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's nothing like that.
The idea that like they literally just took the one shared idea of most children who grow up being afraid of the monster in the closet or under their bed or whatever, and turned that into a whole movie that was like really genuine, really funny, really heartwarming. It was all about like friendship and stuff. I mean, just what the Pixar creative team is able to do with all of these original ideas is just brilliant.
Yeah, the Pixar team.
These monsters that live in their own like separate dimension, that their entire business model for all of their energy is built on literally harnessing the scream energy from kids as they come through these like mystical doorways that link the 2 dimensions. Like what?
So,
dude, that fucking idea is so cool.
So not to dissect too much into this because this will really derail us, but are they time travelers? Or like interdimensional travelers? Because
they're definitely interdimensional travelers.
They have doors that come in. And it could be daytime where they are and they're working, you know.
I think that
they have those big like metal things that come down, and then they have the doors come in, and then they just cycle the doors out for an 8-hour workday. Like,
I think the only time traveling that they're doing is really just changing time zones, because I think it seems like they can go anywhere in our world, basically. So like they could go to
So whoever's sleeping at that time is where they go.
right, yeah, they could go to
a lot
Alaska,
of fucking
and then they
doors.
just swap out doors, and they could go to somewhere in California or somewhere in Brazil or somewhere in China or whatever.
That's a lot of doors that they have to go through.
Lots of doors. Well, when they go into that whole door sequence, what's the bad guy, the lizard? What's his name?
Sully or not Sully? Why can't I think of his name right now?
We might have to look that up. But anyway, when the like lizard guy is chasing them, and they're trying to get like Mike Wazowski and Sully are trying to get Boo away from him, and they end up like riding on one of the doors, and they go out into like where basically the storage warehouse is for the doors. They have like thousands of doors, like maybe more, maybe tens of thousands of doors. Randall. That I was gonna say shape-shifting, but he's not shape-shifting.
He's a chameleon.
That chameleon motherfucker
Who was really sharp teeth.
What a dick. What a great movie,
What a great movie. Definitely beats Ratatouille any day of the week.
Ratatouille's great, but it doesn't equal the greatness of Monsters, Inc.
So that ends round 2 of the Pixar movie bracket, and now we'll be jumping back over to the...
Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Like these matchups are going to be
I would think this one's pretty easy. I have Wall-E against Inside Out, so 1 against 8, I believe that is. Yeah. And I believe you have Wall-E versus Soul.
I do.
As we discussed with Wall-E against Bug's Life, Bug's Life would have beat any of their movies on this side out, but Wall-E. So I have Wall-E advancing easily against Inside Out. Again, Inside Out, great movie, just not a Pixar great movie in my opinion. So Wall-E advances easily.
For me,
straight into the Final Four.
I had a little bit different matchup, but mine was Wall-E versus Soul. Wall-E is moving on. Soul, I thought, was a very, very good movie, but Wall-E, like I said, is a literal masterpiece. And it's just, I don't know how you could, if you were ranking these movies, you could not have that in like the top 5 movies they've made. It's just, it's amazing. It's
right.
Beautifully shot.
The story is
amazing. Yeah. It's just incredible, dude. Like I don't know like what else to really say about it. It's just amazing. I love rewatching it.
You know what we're gonna do one day? Maybe we'll do it with Marvel. We're gonna do a double elimination bracket.
A double elimination.
So like if like Wall-E were to lose, they would go down to the losers bracket where they would fight people that are fighting in the losers bracket who are trying to fight their way back in.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we'll do that for Marvel, and that'll make it a two-part episode because it'll be longer. But I think it'd be pretty fun to do.
You don't have to twist my arm to talk about movies more.
Well, moving into the other half of the left side of the bracket, we have, I think we both had, oh no, I have Toy Story 3 and you have Toy Story 4, but we both have Up. Again, as going with the top side, Up is much more favorited, in my opinion, for me, than any of the Toy Stories would be. So I have Up advancing to fight off against Wall-E in the final 4 of the left side of the bracket, and that's not an easy choice either against Toy Story 3 or Toy Story 4. Up is definitely in an uphill battle. See what I did?
I like what you did there. Yeah, I had Up going up against Toy Story 4 rather than Toy Story 3. I thought Toy Story 4 was actually really good. The whole like Forky that they brought in being the new toy was pretty hilarious. And just the way they've dealt with like being with it's Andy, right? They're all Andy's toys.
Right.
Like dealing with them
become his sister's toys?
Kind of, yeah. I'm a little bit shaky on the exact plot details, but
I'm prepared.
Them going from being with him as like a kid to then being in high school, to then going away to college, to then being like an adult is a really like emotional journey to go on. And you kind of start to understand like, oh wow, like some of these kids, you kind of get where the bear guy was coming from in the third one, where he was so resentful of the fact that his owner had like abandoned him, basically. Because these toys don't die, you know, they don't grow old and die. They're the same day in, day out. And like, if their owner grows out of them and just shoves them in a box in the corner of the closet someday, and there's no one else in the house that wants to play with them, and they never get taken to some toy drive, that's kind of it. They just get stuck.
You know what? Because I feel like you're going to have Up advancing,
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like when you were a kid after you watched Toy Story, like you'd leave your toys in your room and then you would try and quickly open your door again and catch them like moving?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like every kid who watched Toy Story did that.
I put a lot of my toys under my bed that had wheels, thinking they were gonna like come out and be like the creepy toys from like what is it? Sid, the neighbor, the tormented kid, basically. Yeah. I was like, I'd put the wheeled toys under my bed, hoping they'd come out, and then I'd catch them and I'd be like, ha! And then I'd be like, now I know you're alive. Yeah. Play with me.
Yeah.
And it never happened. So that's why bummer.
It's kind of that was one thing I tried when I was a kid, and I also tried using the Force a lot.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
and then something shakes. You're like, I did it.
And you're like, oh no, the table just got bumped by someone. Damn it. So I don't have the Force, and my toys aren't alive.
You're looking at a tree, and you're like,
bullshit.
And the wind blows, and you're like, I made every leaf move.
I do have Up. Moving on. I mean, I did a lot of ranting about Toy Story, but I think the first Toy Story is the best. Toy Story 4, I don't think any of them really dip too much.
No.
Toy Story 4 is good, but Up is just a really, really well done movie and one of the best Pixar movies they've done. So Up is moving on into the final four to face off against WALL-E for me.
Now I think we have some discrepancies because I have Monsters University against The Incredibles, which I think you just have Onward versus The Incredibles, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And to a shocker to some out there, I got Monsters University moving on to my final
You're
four.
You're a big fan of Monsters University,
out The Incredibles. I don't know. Maybe I just watched it at a time in my life when I needed a movie like that to come out, and it just like really like hit home. I think I've watched it probably 5 or 6 times since it's come out, and I know for me that's not a lot, but then again, it is a lot for a movie like that. So, yeah, Monsters University is beating out The Incredibles for me.
Wow, dude. Okay, Monsters University as an 18 seed. The Incredibles is a 10 seed.
But the seeds are based on IMDb and a bunch of,
I think
movie
10,
critics.
10 seed for The Incredibles is criminally low. But, okay, this is a really tough one for me because I have The Incredibles versus Onward. And I think The Incredibles is maybe my favorite Pixar movie of all time, or at least it was when I was younger, going up against... And it's an older one, right? So it's an older Pixar movie that was like my favorite for the longest time. Out of the new ones that I've seen, and new meaning like, let's say last 5 years or so, Onward is the best one I've seen. It's my favorite one.
Okay, but
so
in terms
it's kind of like
overall,
my new... It's, again, to go with the Toy Story metaphor, it's like my new favorite toy and my old favorite toy. It's the Buzz Lightyear and the Woody comparison. And I'm sticking with the original. I'm going with The Incredibles.
Ooh.
That's a tough decision for me, man, because Onward gets
kicked out in a
wonderful.
top 8 role. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach might break down. We got some tissues over here we can hand him.
I've always said when people ask, The Incredibles and Monsters, Inc. have always been my 2 favorite Pixar movies that I've ever watched. So I can't in good conscience say like a movie that just came out last year is going to top The Incredibles. I've had a connection with The Incredibles since 2004. Come on, man. You can't buy that kind of a relationship in a year.
I don't know. You were making it seem like Onward was going to buy that.
Dude, Onward slaps. You got to watch Onward.
I'll watch it. All right, well, now moving on. I believe we both have Toy Story versus Monsters, Inc. as our final Elite 8 matchup.
You are correct, sir.
And in typical fashion, I have Monsters, Inc. moving on fairly easily over the original Toy Story.
So you're going to have Monsters, Inc. going against Monsters University?
Yeah.
Really?
They both won the side of the bracket.
Wow. Okay. This is another tough one. The original Toy Story, again, out of everything we've said, it was the original Pixar movie. It's the best in the Toy Story franchise. It's definitely one of the best Pixar movies they've made. But, like I just said, The Incredibles and Monsters, Inc., just 2 of my favorite Pixar movies I've ever seen. Monsters, Inc. is going to advance to the Final Four for me.
So, we at least have 3 of the 4 Final Fours. We kind of derailed in that second/third roundish, but now we've brought it back in.
This is
but now we're heading into championship.
This was my fear, dude. This was my fear.
Final four.
I kind of feel like you during the TV show bracket where
I was in like rounds 1 and 2. This is the final four.
Like rounds 1 and 2, you had like your top 5 favorite TV shows ever all facing off against each other.
And I had to literally get it down to 1.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Well,
this is why here on the Just Brackets podcast, we force people to make the tough decisions.
And with the first tough decision, we both have Wally against Up.
Mm-hmm.
And mine was it wasn't easy, but Wally definitely is getting the nod moving on. That number 1 seed's cruising into the championship round. And there's just nothing bad to say about it. I think I watched it probably 2 weeks ago. And
so it's fresh in your mind.
it's fresh in my mind. It's just great. I know Up is a great movie, and I've watched it, tens of thousands of times. That's not true, but
that's a lot of time.
I've watched it a lot, and it never gets old. But Wall-E just has that extra little oomph factor that pushes it over for me.
Brandon, if you're still tuned into the Twitch stream, I'm sorry, my friend, but Up is going to get eliminated in the Final Four. It was a good run, Cinderella story. They made it all the way to the Final Four, but they just ran into an unstoppable Kentucky-like force in Wall-E, and Wall-E is going to also advance to the championship for my bracket on that side. So
guess I could have done that the whole time.
What? Pull it up over here?
No, it was up over here. It just wasn't zoomed in.
Oh, okay. Okay, on to the other side.
On to the other side.
Brandon's like, boo.
Yeah, boo all you want.
Well, print out your own bracket and fill it out, and then text it to us, and we'll
mail
cover
it
it on
to
the
us.
next episode. Yeah, mail it to us via FedEx, please.
Yeah, first class only.
Okay, should we start at the top? Do you want me to go first up here?
Yeah, since we have different we have different ones on the top.
Yeah, you had Monsters University advancing to the Final Four on the top right. I had The Incredibles.
Correct.
And this Final Four matchup is going to be The Incredibles versus Monsters, Inc., which really pains me because they're my two favorite Pixar
I know.
movies.
When you said that last round, I was thinking to myself, this guy's going to have his number 3 movie jumping into number 2. Again, if you have to cry, we got tissues.
I might need a minute.
All right, well...
What do you have? Because you have two Monsters University.
I have
Monsters
the OG
movies.
Monsters, Inc. because it came out in 2001 when I was 7 years old. And it's just... I mean, it just set the stage. It truly... Monsters University, had it never come out, Monsters, Inc. would have maintained its greatness. I think Monsters University kind of elevates Monsters, Inc. even more. Because it allows you to appreciate the fact of what they did with the story and make it that much better. So Monsters, Inc. is going into the finals for me, beating out Monsters University. Not easily, but it wasn't a buzzer beater shot like yours is. Mine's definitely Monsters, Inc. all the way.
If you would have picked Monsters University over Monsters, Inc., I would have had to get you drug tested before we continue recording because that would have been fucking insane.
But you didn't. Sorry, I was reading.
No, I would have said if you would have picked Monsters University over Monsters, Inc., I would have gotten you drug tested for your sanity.
Yeah, well, you know what? As a co-owner of Just Browsin, I can decline that to my employer. So
True. I mean, we are our employers, so.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow, man. This is a tough matchup, and, to go with your little nod and your joke about the NCAA tournament, I think this is a back-and-forth game. It goes into double overtime. And Monsters, Inc. hits a buzzer beater for the win.
Oh, shit.
That's a hard decision for me.
Well, and
it's
looks
very
like
close.
We have our first bracket filled out. We would have Up versus Monsters, Inc. in Brandon's bracket, and he says Up would be winning it. So all three of us have Monsters, Inc. coming out of the right side of the bracket.
I like it. That makes me feel better.
But two of us have Wall-E against Monsters, Inc., and I'll just jump right in as a championship game after, we know Brandon's got Up, so Up's got 1. I have Wall-E winning, and It's not a landslide against Monsters, Inc.
Yeah.
This one's definitely like a buzzer beater in the fourth quarter of or the second half of an NCAA game with Wall-E just hitting that half-court 3 at the end to just seal the deal. Wall-E by a fucking hair, It's just my favorite fucking movie. I love it.
I cannot fault you at all for that. I think there is an argument to be made that Wall-E is the best Pixar movie they've made, but I'm not filling this bracket out based on what I think is the best. I'm filling it out based on what my favorite is. And
well, that's what you should be doing.
This is a really tough matchup. Again, Oddly enough, it's not as tough as the final 4 round for me between Monsters Inc. and The Incredibles, just because of my affinity to both of those movies. But I'm also, I mean, WALL-E is right there with those movies in terms of greatness and how much I love them. I'm going Monsters Inc. over WALL-E.
Ooh. I mean,
it's close. It's close, but I'm going Monsters Inc.
There's nothing wrong with that choice, but it is wrong. I do have to ask, Brandon, if your wife is awake, what would her movie pick be? Then we'll have 4.
So far we have
Up with 1.
Up, WALL-E, and Monsters Inc. have all gotten
but
one.
Monsters Inc. has made it to the championship game in 3 brackets.
Correct.
Out of the 3 we've discussed.
So yeah, I'll do some reconnaissance once Taya reports back from work after the night shift to see what her coworkers have chosen for their champions here.
Yeah, so
I had a good time going through our movie franchise bracket and seeing some of the choices there, because some of them I was like, "Yep, makes sense. It's MCU. Yep,
right.
Okay, it's Harry Potter or whatever." And then some of them was like, "Bro, I'm riding for the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise." It's like, you're insane.
Yeah,
you're an insane
you're
person.
Just dumb at this point in time. No, I mean, I think this is. I feel like it's one of our harder brackets we've ever done, but at the same time, it's almost one of our easier because we have such strong opinions when it comes to these movies already. Like, we came into this bracket going, this is my favorite of all time, no matter what it's going against. So, she's asleep.com. All right, well, we'll just say her favorite is WALL-E. Woo, 2 for WALL-E.
I feel like she might be a Bug's Life type person. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe.
I'm just taking it. Or a Finding Nemo. I'm just taking a guess.
Watches she's never seen a Pixar movie in her life.
Yeah, real boring. I think this was a good bracket. I like this one.
I like this bracket a lot.
And I knew this was going to be good, and this one and the MCU ones are going to be just as fun because these are hard, and there's not that many of them too. I think if they did have 64 movies, there would probably be quite a few that were just not very good. But Pixar has not made that many movies, so every time there is a new Pixar release, you're like, I have faith this is going to be an excellent movie.
Well, and when they have made a bad movie, it's not a bad movie. It's it's a bad Pixar movie, which is completely different than a bad movie.
Two different things
in itself.
Two different things.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this was fun. I think we need to do a Disney one. I know when we were probably over at Brandon's parents' house a couple years ago, we had like a 16 seed for like the Disney animated movies or something that we should probably try and find like the originals and go through. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and I think we'd have choose Monsters Inc. or The Incredibles for Brandon's wife.
She's got good taste.
Well, we all have good taste in Monsters Inc.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you polled a lot of people who have seen all the Pixar movies, you're going to get a lot of answers of Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
It's just a great movie. It's a fantastic movie. I really can't believe it got released in 2001. It's fucking 20 years old, dude.
Yeah.
That's insane.
We were 7. So
he said Zay chooses Incredibles 2. He's a big Jack Jack fan. Dude, Jack Jack is the greatest. And then when you figure out Jack Jack has like all the powers, you're like, oh shit.
He just turns into a massive ball of steel and drops to the earth, and then turns into a ball of fire.
Imagine trying to take care of your 1-year-old, and he has like 87 power sets. And he
but teleport. You're Mr. Incredible.
He can teleport. He can turn into fire. He turns into like a little fucking rage zombie thing.
Yeah, the demon baby.
The like purple rage monster.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Okay, great.
Well, this was fun, man. This was fun going through it. I honestly, the way we had it laid out, I was really hoping I wasn't going to have to pit Monsters Inc. against The Incredibles until like the championship round, but it is what it is. I can handle it in the final 4. I don't think I could have handled that if it was like in the round of 64 or Sweet 16 or something like that.
Yeah, like my TV series.
Yes, we know.
Great.
We know.
But everyone tuning in on the podcast. Like I said, if you want to look at the bracket, it's on the Just Browsin Podbean page. Feel free to go click on it, and then you can, as you listen, follow along with the bracket. And I think next week we'll probably come out, and I think we're going to do a double elimination Marvel bracket, or we'll do that, in the following weeks. But I think as far as wrapping up this Pixar bracket, we're thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back with another episode next week.
Yeah, I think definitely please go out and check out the bracket. Fill it out, print it off, fill it out. You can email us in or tweet at us or whatever and let us know what your picks were. We'd love to get as many opinions as we can. It's always, when you build brackets like this, it's always nice to get
always fun.
A bunch of different opinions because, I think you and I have a pretty good idea of which movies each other are going to pick for things like this, especially when we were doing our movie franchise bracket podcast. But, thanks for tuning in. Check out the Twitch stream, all the new things. Check out the new look of the Podbean website. Continue to give us listens and downloads and subscribes on all the podcast platforms.
We're getting close to that big 1,000 downloads, so we appreciate all the love. I'm sure we've had more than 1,000 listens. Appreciate all the love from around the world. I know we've gotten downloads from India, New Zealand, the UK. I think we're in the Czech Republic as well. So
we're international.
Appreciate all of you in Canada as well. So thank you, and we'll continue to pump out content. Like Zach said, we are live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/the Just Browsin podcast. And after most podcast episodes, I'm assuming we'll sit in there and talk with our chat for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You just won't hear that on the podcast itself. So feel free to stop on by and chat with us live and get shouted out on the podcast. So
hell yeah, brother.
Until next week, we will talk to you guys later. So thanks again.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Until next time.
Oh, well, I cut you off on that one.
Oh, well.
But now we got good old Stoner Cat 50 in the chat.
I agree, Brandon. Strong championship vibes from Hercules.
Yo,
Hercules
brownies.
fucking slaps, dude.
What's up, Josh? That's Josh. That's one of the guys I play games with.
Sup, Josh?
He sucks.
What up? We just filled out our Disney Pixar brackets.
Yeah, and now we're sitting here and we're going to talk to Brandon about how his terrible choice in movies is leading to... Oh, Brownies, thanks for the follow. Woo! That's 5, I think. We're only 45 away from affiliate and becoming self-employed Twitch streamers.
Well, we're 45 away from being an affiliate, right? But then how many followers do you really have to have before you start making money? That's the question.
Well, we could be making money now.
10,000 or something?
Well, shit. We could make money now. It would just be someone coming in and donating.
Right.
I would never expect friends to donate.
Twitch.
Oh, from Twitch?
Oh, I expect Brandon to donate. PayPal, Brandon.
Once we become big enough that we can start putting ads and shit on our stuff and we get paid based on those ads, then yeah. But you got to have more viewers because the more viewers there are that get run through the ads, the more ad revenue you get.
We better be sponsored by the Lawnmower 3.0.
The Lawnmower 3.0 and Fabletics.
And Fabletics, I swear to God.
I don't have them on right now, though. So
Why not, man? I thought they were paying you.
They are.
You're not going to take that fucking Fabletics shill money?
No, because they won't support our podcast, so they're getting tossed aside for now.
We need to rewatch Up. I do need to rewatch Up. It's a great movie.
It is a great movie. But I feel like I've seen it enough that I don't need to rewatch it all the time. You need to rewatch WALL-E.
Yeah, you do. WALL-E's fucking tremendous.
Right,
and watch Onward. Both of you watch Onward.
Onward.
Both of my fantasy team names in both leagues last year was because of Onward.
Yeah, well, mine's from...
And again, Brandon didn't understand the reference because he never watches any movies, and all of mine are from movies.
My name is from my sponsorship with the Lawnmower 3.0 for all your manscaping needs.
If you're not like something having to do with Fabletics next year, I'm gonna fucking slap you.
Hey, dude, if you guys want Fabletics shorts, they're comfy. They've got mesh in the crotch to help it breathe. They're stretchy. They got deep pockets.
I need to just keep growing the beard out and get sponsored by like a fucking beard oil company or something.
The Beard Club, where Zach Jones
Dollar
buys
Beard
his
Club.
beard oil. Weirdo.
Onward is just Get the fuck out of here. How dare you?
I seen Onward. That's right. Damn, he's shitting all over your movie. Josh, what's your favorite Pixar movie, if you're still here? So far, we have Brandon with Up, Zach with
Monsters Inc.
I have WALL-E, and then that's the only 3 that we've had solidified answers for so far. Luna's is WALL-E, so there's 2 for WALL-E.
Fuck off. Not everyone's is WALL-E. We need it. We need it from the horse's mouth.
No, Luna's is...
I'm curious to see what Taya picks on hers.
I think she's probably going to pick WALL-E.
Do you?
I don't know. Probably not. She's probably going to pick, like,
Let me see
Brave
if I can
or
guess.
something.
No, we watched Brave together, and neither of us liked it that much.
I don't watch movies unless it's called Harry Potter.
Oh, we got a Finding Nemo pick.
Finding Nemo, is that yours
Finding
or
Nemo's
Kate's?
good. What would Taya pick?
Wall-E?
I feel like she might go with Wall-E or Bug's Life, maybe.
Josh, have you ever seen Wall-E? Please tell me you have. Or I'm not reviving you in Warzone. I can't even name one Marvel movie, so I'll be useless in the next bracket.
Watch a movie once in a while, Brandon. For the love of God.
Kate is gone. Oh, good. All right, Zach, leave. Time for us to play some Warzone. I'm just kidding, dude.
I mean, I can leave.
You can stay here.
Or I
as
can
long
just
as
sit
you
over here
want.
and continue to stream while you're playing video games.
Well, what we could do is just hook this up to that computer and watch me play video games, and I'll just stream it. I suck, but hey.
I mean, I actually have other things I could be doing.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. That's too many cables that if you can't tell, I have a lot of fucking cables running through my house right now. And that would just be more cables.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
You got a lot going on in here.
I know. We need to make it big, so.
Is this going to be what our studio looks like? Just like 47 monitors on the walls?
Dude, if we got big enough, we would have.
Or would it just be like one? We would just be surrounded by like one big screen. We'll have like the little like oval shaped thing, like
Well, so if
like
we
Joe
got,
Rogan sitting in that little
Right.
fucking oval shaped
So-
thing.
so
but
if
it's
we
just
got-
like a screen all the way around.
Well, if we got big enough where we could build a studio room, we would have like a 75-inch TV on each wall with a camera facing each of us and like a camera facing down. So we'd have multiple camera angles. But I'm talking, we're like making millions off this show.
Right, which is only going to happen in 8 years.
If I'm making millions
what are
off
we
of a talk
setting
show
our,
when I'm 35 years old, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, me either.
You know how? So literally, what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna tell everyone our business plan here, and if you copy it, we're
Don't
gonna
tell
sue
anyone
you.
our business plan. Tell me the business plan.
All right, I'm telling you our business plan.
but tell me offline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So our business plan is gonna be to make a shitload of money
Yeah, exactly.
and do this for a living.
Are we going to get a 401k when we have our...
Dude, I'm still
Is it
working
gonna
on
be like
health
the-
insurance.
it's
Okay,
gonna be
I'm
the-
still working on the health insurance part.
Just Browsin LLC. We're going to have 401k contributions.
Bro,
and,
yeah, we can go public too. We can sell our company. We'll own 51%, and then we'll sell the rest.
be a publicly traded company.
Yeah. And then when we die off and we give our company to our kids, as long as they don't screw it up, Just Browsin will be here forever.
Yeah. Be as big as Amazon.
I mean, fuck Amazon. A bunch of rookies. Actually, Twitch is owned by Amazon, so they would technically become our employers.
Matt didn't mean that, Amazon. Sorry,
Yeah,
Jeff
that's a
Bezos.
joke.
We're sorry.
Or was it? But no. This has been a lot of fun.
This has been
And
fun.
I think Marvel's.
enjoyed this.
I think we're going to do a double elim on the Marvel bracket, so it'll be a little
That's
bit.
a lot. That's a lot.
All right, well, you committed to this or not?
I mean, I am, but I feel like the
not
Marvel
committed.
one could be a multi-episode discussion without doing a double elimination.
But wouldn't it be kind of...
So what are we
okay,
doing with the double elimination? The winner of the losers bracket faces the winner of the winners bracket, or what?
Oh, it would have to. It would determine on. Okay, hi Luna. Yes, yes, you're so cute.
Luna's got to insert herself into everything that's going on.
No, you don't want to talk. Okay, you just want belly rubs. This is my dog Luna. For those of you that didn't pay attention in the first stream, she's beautiful, but she's a pain in the butt sometimes.
Oh, Brandon wants us to do Disney.
Dude,
I'd be down for Disney. I actually.
you want to
feel
do a
like,
Disney double elimination bracket?
I feel like I haven't had. If we do Disney, I want to have Taya on here. She's seen like all the Disney movies.
Okay.
I don't think
I
I've
think we
seen
can
all of
squeeze her in
them.
here.
I've seen quite a few, but I haven't seen all of them. And I haven't seen most, like the Pixar ones I've seen more recently, but I haven't seen like a lot. I haven't seen The Little Mermaid since I was like -6.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for me to remember
Backward.
like how much I love The Little Mermaid versus
Under
The Lion
the
King
sea.
or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we can do a Disney double elim. That would be a good one because then it gives each Disney movie a second chance to move on.
He wants to know who the top 20 Disney movies are.
Okay, we'll have to do that later because that's going to be forever for us to search every IMDb
I could just,
rating of
yeah,
movies.
I could look it up and see if there's a website that ranks a bunch of them real quick.
You could probably do it on Rotten Tomatoes. But then again, we have to have a criteria for the Disney movies because there's so many Disney movies out there. Like, is it going to be the original animated ones? Or
I think that's what he means. That's what I was thinking.
well,
is like
I think
the
there's only like
animated.
16 or something of those.
All Disney animated movies ranked by Tomato Meter.
Excuse you.
But I think these are going to be including like the Disney. They're not Pixar, but they're animated movies. I think we need to filter out those and look at just like the Jungle Book, classic example. Lion King, Little Mermaid, shit like that.
Right. We'll have to.
Hercules.
I think I have that like top 16.
Here, I'll pull up. I'll just list off according to this article, which I don't know who's
I might have deleted
ranking
it.
these. Pinocchio from 1940 has a 100% Rotten Tomatoes rating. Who has seen Pinocchio?
I saw it
Like
a
the original.
long
Dude,
long
1940
time
is a long time ago.
Yes, it is.
That movie got released fucking 81 years ago.
Your math fits you well.
Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh from 1977 has a 100%. These are the top two, according to this list. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White was pretty cool. I remember that being kind of scary. That came out in 1937.
Yeah, it's.
I kind of forget like how long these Disney movies have been being made. 101 Dalmatians. That's number 5. Dumbo. Were you a Dumbo fan? Did you like Dumbo?
No, I didn't like Dumbo. It was a sad movie, bro.
Cinderella.
Eh.
I feel like that's more of a like the girls like that movie. Aladdin slaps.
Aladdin slaps.
From 1992. Fantasia. Beauty
Dude,
and the Beast.
Did you go through the Aristocrats?
Dude, I fucking
Or
love
the,
the Aristocrats. Aristocats. The Lion King, the original from 1994. That
Google
comes in
Finocchio in Italian. Why?
The Little Mermaid from 1999 or 89. Sorry, Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, I loved Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp was dope.
Like, but Mulan's a Disney movie.
Oh, I'm sure it's on here. Bambi. Dude, Bambi came out in 42. I remember watching that when I was a kid thinking, like, that's when it came out, was, like, when I was a kid.
Yeah,
like the
Fox
90s,
and the Hound was great.
Isn't it weird how, like, the Disney animation seems, like, kind of timeless? Like,
well, I mean, you think
one that
like
came
Frozen?
out in 1942 looks the same as, like, a Disney movie from, like, 1989. They look the exact same, basically.
Well, and then there's, like, Frozen.
Well, see, I'm not picking those, because, like, that is a different type of animation, I feel like, than what the classic...
So we're going to have to put, like, a time period on
We need to
this.
do, like, a classic Disney animated.
Okay, we're gonna have to find that bracket.
Like,
let me see if I can find it on monitor 14.
Tarzan, fucking Tarzan was dope. Sleeping Beauty, The Jungle Book. I was a big Jungle Book guy.
It's the
Lilo and Stitch. Taya was watching Lilo and Stitch the other day. Lilo and Stitch is fucking awesome.
Okay, all right,
Mulan
here we
from
go.
1998.
We can weed out some of these. Oh, well, we can. So
the
this
Emperor's New Groove, Brandon.
This one.
It's going to be the Emperor's New Groove versus fucking Hercules. I can already tell.
This one has The Lion King, Tarzan, Princess and the Frog, Lilo and Stitch, Tangled, The Big Hero, Frozen, Moana, Aladdin, Hercules, The Little Mermaid, Pocahontas, Mulan, Zootopia, Beauty and the Beast, and The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, see, they even have some Pixar movies in that one, though.
Right. So,
see,
the left is Disney, the right
Disney
is
and
Pixar.
Oh, I see.
So, like, here, we'll see what this one has. Oh, that's a princess bracket. We don't want that.
We got to do...
Greatest animated... Oh, like Madagascar? I don't think that's Disney, though. I think that's DreamWorks.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think what we should do is do a Disney bracket, but we could include all of the like Frozen and Mulan could be in the same
Oh, see, here we go.
bracket because they're both
Dog,
animated.
seriously?
They're different types of animation.
She knows she's not allowed to go under this desk over here, and she throws her ball under it every single day, like 100 times, and then looks at me, and if I don't pay attention because I'm working, she goes, and I turn to look at her, and she's like, and I look down, and I'm like, oh, your ball's there.
I think we should do a Disney. I agree with Brandon. Now that I'm looking through the movies, I think we should do a Disney bracket, and the Disney bracket should include the like classic Disney animation, and then the like Disney animation that's like Frozen. And like Tangled and shit like that.
Right. Well, so like this one. This one's got a lot. The Jungle Book, The Aristocats, Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella, Snow White, Pinocchio, Robin Hood, 101 Dalmatians, Sleeping Beauty, Peter Pan, Winnie and the Pooh, Bambi, Fantasia, The Little Mermaid, Lady and the Tramp, Lion King,
The Rescuers,
The Rescuers, Down Under, great movie, James and the Giant Peach, Hercules, Toy Story, Pocahontas, Mulan.
Were you a big Peter Pan guy? I fucking loved Peter Pan when I was a kid.
I loved Hook too, like the
Yeah.
live version.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Tarzan.
The Fox and the Hound. The Rescuers
Goofy
Down
movie.
Under. Dude, there's a lot. Bro,
DuckTales.
fucking Treasure Planet slaps.
Treasure Planet. Dude,
have you guys seen Treasure Planet? Please tell me someone's seen Treasure Planet.
It might not
it's
be
fucking awesome.
It might not be a Disney movie, but what's that? Atlantis, The Lost City of Atlantis.
That's a great movie.
Great
too.
fucking
That's
movie.
a great movie.
The Tigger movie, never.
The Sword
Emperor's
and the
New
Stone.
Groove,
I remember
yep.
that
Chicken
one being
Little.
a dope one. Dinosaur, actually.
Wreck-It Ralph. Oh, dude, I love that movie. That movie.
I haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph.
That movie, my freshman year in college when it came out, was my favorite movie ever.
If we do this, the Black Cauldron. The Black Cauldron was a dope one. We need to have.
So this is what it does.
We're doing this.
This is what it did. It's a 1990s on this side and a 2010s on this side. So that's what it did. So 1940s through 80s, 2000s, 1990s.
Is that 64?
And 2010s. Yeah, it's a 64.
Should we just fucking print that one off and fill it out and do that? Do a whole podcast on that one?
Well, I don't know if we have to print it off, but we can use this as a base, and then we can interject some movies.
Let's do that.
we
Let's
feel
start
is better.
building that. So should we do the MCU bracket next, or should we do a Disney movie?
I think we
next?
do MCU next, and then we'll do Disney because we just did Pixar. So let's do MCU as a little change in pace, and then we'll do Pixar.
Okay.
Or Disney, sorry.
I'm down for that.
Nice.
Dude, yeah, I actually am getting pretty excited about this Disney one. There's a Chicken Little. You remember Chicken
Brandon,
Little?
if you want to be in on the Disney one, let me know, and then I'll work to set up the Discord to get you in as well.
Yeah, he'll have to be in on that. I know it's going to... honestly, for me, like Emperor's New Groove and Hercules is going to be way up there.
That one we might have to do on like a Saturday kind of during the day, though, because I feel like that if we want to do it all in one so that Ty doesn't have to come back here, like it'll be a long episode.
We have to have Taya on for this because she's seen like literally all of the Disney movies and she's seen all of their sequels. Like you know how
well we can discuss a time to do that.
You'll never have heard of like the Hunchback of Notre Dame 3. She's seen it. She's seen all the fucking sequels.
She's like this is after he has his hunch taken out of his back. No, we can. We'll discuss getting Brandon on, and if you and Dom want to sit down and do it, we'll just try and work to.
That one will be fun.
I'll have to figure out how to get the Discord audio to come through. I don't know if we'll be able to hear it through that, so we might have to do like Discord on our phones with like headphones in, and we'll just mute certain things. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to get you on if you want to be on for that one, and then we can have Ty on, and we can have. Dude, that could literally be one of our longest, like our best streams too.
I'm super down.
All right.
We should do that.
Plan made. Dog, go get that one. I can't reach it.
Oh.
Dom would be all about she owns like every Disney VHS ever. All right, well.
Brandon, I'm Googling Pinocchio.
Well, we can get everybody's girlfriends, wives, fiancés, whatever you want to call them on for the Disney episode.
Let's do it. So we'll do MCU next because that won't take quite as much planning, but we'll do...
yeah, this one's going to take planning, and like I said, it's probably going to want to be like a Saturday midday type episode, and then I'll plan to drop the dog off at my parents' house because that'll be a lot less of her dropping a ball under my tables.
That's what Pinocchio is, apparently.
There it is.
And there it is.
We will not say that out loud.
For fear of losing our sponsors.
For fear of losing the Manscaped 3.0 sponsor.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what they would do, though? They'd probably come back
Fabletics.
and look at this and be like, look what these guys said.
Brandon, I'm pretty sure I was over at your house one time, and your mom and Dom literally watched like 101 Dalmatians while we were playing basketball. So, yeah.
Probably.
Dom would probably be a good one to get in on the Disney one.
I'm going to do this before I fucking, like, delete it.
Yeah, please don't delete that.
That's a good episode.
Otherwise, it will have been entertaining to exactly like one other person. And even then, probably not. Brandon's just probably been playing Fortnite the whole time and not paying attention to us at all.
He's probably, like, laying in bed with headphones in. But I can't see what he says in chat, so...
Well, should we wrap this shit up?
Yeah. Might as well, since it's 9:30 already.
That was a good one.
Yeah, Brandon, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for following the stream.
He said Dom and I just dropped the $3,000 to watch Cruella.
Nice.
I don't know why Disney Plus does that, man. It's like, hey, you already pay whatever it is, $8 a month, $10 a month for Disney Plus. Would you also like to watch this new Disney release? Well, it's an extra $30 on top of that. That was like 90% of the reason why I didn't watch Mulan on Disney Plus, the live-action remake one. I literally just went to Redbox and got it when it came out and paid like $1.57. I was like, fuck you,
cheating
Disney.
system.
Like, I'm already paying for the subscription. How was Cruella, by the way? Taya wants to see that real bad. We're waiting with bated breath.
The nice thing is, this isn't on the podcast like the last time. we were recording.
Whereas it's like, hang on, I'll look it up. And then it was just like 5-10 seconds.
The nice thing with like being like a live stream is they can see what you're doing, so they can like be like, oh, it's not like someone just like AFK'd it and it's just we're sitting here by ourselves. He is laying in bed. Called it. Should have woke Dom up and got her answer.
Yeah, I think Taya's going to watch it. I don't know if she's going to talk me into watching that with her, but Emma Stone's good. She's always good. Yeah. You ready to wrap this shit up?
Yeah. Brandon, again, thanks for
tuning in.
And, we appreciate the follow. Love the support. It means so
we'll
much.
have to try and continue to do this when you move to Poca-fucking-tello.
Yeah, dickhead. No, we'll figure out how to get you on, and then we'll definitely plan an episode where you and Dom can be on it, and then Zach and Ty can come over, and we'll discuss a 64 team. That's gonna be like 3 or 4 hours.
It might. Well, and trust me, I'm seriously bringing. Taya's gonna have more to talk about than I am on these. Like she's seen all of them.
It'll be good. It'll be good at least for a live streaming. Podcast might be a little long, but you know what? It'll be fun.
Right. That's all right.
It'll be fun. So, yeah, we'll hit you up when we do that. But
probably be within the next couple weeks because we're gonna do that MCU one next, I think.
Yep.
Which watch some of them, like just the biggest movie franchise in the history of American cinema. Like watch it
in world cinema.
Yeah, maybe like
just watch like the last two.
Watch
Avengers.
Watch a movie.
Yeah, dickhead.
Then you'll understand my fucking Thanos jokes when I drop Thanos jokes. Dude, there was a guy at work today. I saw his account. His last name was Thanos. It's like, wow.
Did you email him saying, please don't snap your fingers? From your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
Yeah. All right. Well.
All right. Yeah.
Time to wrap. Till next week.
Thanks, everybody.
It's been real.
Love you too, Brandon. And we'll talk to everybody sometime next week. Follow the Twitter. You'll get the notification when we go live. And then when we make it big enough, we'll just make a talk show for every day of the week.
Something like that, yeah.
All right.
Whenever we start making enough money that I can quit my job.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.